Today on the Chat and Chew Show.
Y'all bawling my eyes out. I mean, the ugly snotty cry. Y'all know what I'm talking about. When you get up, your eyes swollen. Your throat dry. I cry. And I was like, I'm angry, God. Like, I literally, to the top of my lungs, said, Lord, I'm angry. I'm angry. And it was almost like God was like, yes.
Finally.
Right. Finally, daughter.
Some honesty here. Thank you.
What do you do when life takes an unexpected or devastating turn? Today on the Chat and Chew Show, we are joined by Coach A.P. Alston, life coach and widowed mother of two. Losing her husband after almost 10 years of marriage, Coach A.P. says that her amazing children motivate her daily to pursue purpose despite the pain of life circumstances. She is a certified empowerment, wellness, and wholeness life coach, as well as the founder and CEO of Uniquely Beautiful You, LLC, an empowerment, wellness, and holistic health platform for women and girls to become their best selves by making positive lifestyle changes for the mind, body, and spirit. We are grateful to be able to hear this very candid yet inspiring story, and we encourage you to follow Coach A.P.'s journey as she turns her pain into power and purpose and inspires others to do the same. So buckle up, Chat Tribe. This is going to be a good one.
All right. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Chat and Chew Show. My name is Betty.
And I'm Roxanne.
And we are super thrilled. We say that every week we're super thrilled. I got to come up with a new word, Roxy.
We are ecstatic.
Ecstatic. That's right. That you decided to click on out of millions of podcasts and YouTubers. You are clicked on to what's called the Chat and Chew Show. And our goal is to empower you to do relationships better. But don't think just romantic relationships. This is more than that. If you think about it, every person that you come in contact with, you would be in a relationship with, like your mailman. Yeah. Give me some other ones, Roxy.
Like my DoorDash people, we recently made up.
Like your child's teacher, like your your coworkers, your managers. So we want to give you tips and tools and tricks and things to think about to do your relationships better. We all know that sometimes relationships can be really difficult, and having someone help you navigate through those can make the difference, life and death. So today's show is going to be one that's exciting. We have another great friend of mine who is going to join us today, and she's going to tell us her story, her life story right now, and what God is doing in her life. And so you want to hang on. This is going to be really, really good.
Hi guys, welcome back. And as we mentioned, we have a very special guest. Yay! And we're ecstatic. That's our new word today. To have her here, we have Coach A.P. Alston. Welcome.
Hey, ladies.
Hi. So Coach A.P. Alston, so tell us about the coaching real quick. I'm just curious.
Sure. So I have a business called Uniquely Beautiful You, LLC. And that's where we turn our pain into power and purpose and our trials into triumph. To become our best selves, right? To become our best selves, that's the important part. With that, we make positive lifestyle choices for the mind, body, and spirit. And so I am a certified empowerment, wellness, and holistic life coach. And I have been doing this probably for about 15 years now. And my platform is all about fitness, inspiration, transformation, and women's wellness. So I'm excited.
Before we go any further, tell me about these earrings, though.
Yes. So these earrings were made by one of my very good friends, Dr. Ebony Bell. And these are called Dream Tassels. And she has all different colors. And she's on Instagram under @DreamTassels. So if you all want to follow her, please feel free to do so. They're very lightweight and they're yarn type earrings. So,
nice.
Yeah, fashion statement, right?
I was gonna say it's like pow earrings.
Yeah. So I love these. I have like 4 different colors, but yeah.
Cool. I love those.
Thank you.
AP Alston, I also know you as Aisha.
Yes.
we go back quite a ways, and we haven't really got a chance to catch up these recent days. But I know your story, and I don't want to tell your story, but I would love to hear your story. And we're talking about Aisha is. I'm going to try to remember to say AP Alston.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Is a widow with 2 children. So would you tell us just a little bit, about how you met your husband and where you are now?
Yeah. So first and foremost, thank you, ladies, for having me on the show. This is, you know, it's bittersweet, of course,
Yeah.
because of the topic that we're talking about. But at the same time, the sweetness comes in because my husband was the type of guy that, no matter what, you become better and not bitter.
Mm.
So this is a portion of me becoming better in my process as a widow, right? And as a young widow, because I'm only 41,
Yeah.
right? Um, and the process has been challenging because I'm the only widow that I know in my age group, right? So that in and of itself has been challenging. But so my husband and I met years ago, actually, at church, and at the time he was an elder in the church, and so fast forward, we actually got married in 2008 of October of 2008, and we were married for 9.5 years.
Okay.
And so he passed February 21st of 2017. And so that October of 2017 would have been our 10th year anniversary. So he had passed that February before our 10th year anniversary. So I just say we were still married for 10 years.
Yeah.
But we had known each other for a very long time, probably for about 15 years. Um, and he was an amazing guy. He was just, Betty, I mean, he
Oh
was,
my gosh.
he,
I'm trying to refrain. He was
yeah,
truly amazing.
yeah,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
was, he was really in a class of his own. And, I just in hindsight, you think about just all that he did with his life and how much of an inspiration that he was, and so, and if I can be completely, as I like to say, authentically honest, in moments where I'm struggling, now as a widow with, 2 kids, I think about his life and I think about just everything that he did for his community and for his family and, the person that he was and the persona that he exemplified literally every day.
Yeah.
You asked him, Dr. Alston, how you feeling today? He would be like, fantastic, no matter what. He could have just gotten chemo treatment and
Mm.
the nurses would come in and say, Mr. Alston, how you feeling? He was like, I'm fantastic. So there was never a time, literally, in his whole process of going through his treatment where he complained. And
Okay.
so now, for me, I stand on his shoulders in a sense, based on the legacy that he left behind, right? And that's important. And those were things that we discussed, even as he was going through his sickness, right? And one thing that we in our moments of transparency, in our moments of husband wife transparency moments, it's like good, bad, ugly, indifferent, no matter what. If God takes me from this earth, right, I want you to keep moving forward. That's
So,
the thing that gets emotional, right?
I know. Let's let the audience in on. So, you guys are married. How long were you married before he got the diagnosis of cancer?
Yeah, so we had been married for, at that point, 8 years.
Okay.
8 years.
So, and he struggled for 2 years with chemo and believing God. Okay.
Yeah, but see, this is the thing. So Curtis, for those that know Curtis and those that may not, but he was one of the healthiest men that I've ever known in my life. I mean, he ran marathons, 5Ks, he was my kickboxing coach. Okay. So let me bring some light on that.
Mhm.
Before he and I actually got married, he was my kickboxing coach. Okay. And so he trained me. Okay. I was a trained amateur kickboxer. All right. And so he was my coach. And that being said, just one of the healthiest men that I've known, right? And never had any problems, never had any sicknesses. As long as we had been married, he had never gotten sick. Okay.
Mm.
So when we got this the cancer diagnosis, it was honestly a shock to us, to the family, to his
Yeah.
family, because it was something that came out of nowhere, literally.
Do you think it's healing? How you just told the whole story. Do you think it's healing to be able to have a chance to do that?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. what happens is when you don't, it begins to continue to play in your mind
Okay.
of the shoulda, woulda, couldas. And
Mm.
I've gone through that, right? So February of 2017, February of 2021, this February will be 4 years.
Okay.
So for about 2.5 years, I was just in a huge state of depression. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was the anxiety, depression, PTSD, all of the above, right? And I still try to maintain, and you're still a mom, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're still a woman. You still have to keep pressing forward. You still have to feed your kids, right? But at the same time, internally, I was struggling. I mean, struggling, right? So I had to seek therapy. You know what I'm saying? I had to begin to really do self-care, and that's why I'm so adamant about self-care. Like that's my premise of my, of my brand and my business, because it's so important.
Yeah.
But you have to begin to get it out. You have to begin to talk about it. Otherwise, it begins to play in your mind about what you didn't do right. Could you have done this better? Why didn't I do that or this? And, why didn't I ask? It's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you kind of said in passing you're a mom. So tell
Yeah.
us about your children.
Yeah, so I have two little people, two little ones. I have a boy and a girl, and my young king is 7, and my young queen is 8.
Okay.
They are the joys of my world. They are our legacy, right? And every time I see their smile, I think of their dad. Like really, I just, they remind me so much of him. My daughter is very much A-type personality, like her dad.
Okay.
She's a gymnast and a cheerleader, and so she's very active. And my son does soccer, but he looks just like daddy. And it's just in moments where I'm feeling like I can't do this anymore, right? When I just want to lay in the bed all day. Okay, let's just be real, because some days are like that. They come first.
Yeah. Yeah. So you said you have good days and you have bad days.
Yeah.
I think anybody who's lost anything that's major,
Yeah.
there's a whole grieving process that you got to go through.
Right.
And you don't know how long you're gonna grieve. So man, I'm super proud of you, by the way.
Oh,
I'm seeing, how you're living your life and all that.
To God be all the glory.
Amen. Amen. So for people who are listening who've lost something major, I know you talked about having, down times. Can you talk a little bit more about, how those down times looked, for you?
Yeah,
I
sure.
don't want to drag you down there, but I think
No.
it's helpful for us to be honest about,
Yeah.
what people are experiencing, because we have a tendency is like, oh, praise God, he's gonna work it out, or we just kind of like live in this, like I'm the head, not the tail, and all that. But honestly, people, when they lose things that are really important to them, they go through this really painful, experience. So I guess I want to, for people who are listening, you are not by yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me to your point, Betty. Let's highlight that for a second, because it's easy to say, "Oh, girl, just go pray about it. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna get over this. God's got you, right?" And that sounds great. And it's not that when you're going through, it's not that you don't know that, because you do, right? You trust God. You know what I'm saying? Your faith is the size of a mustard seed. You know what I'm saying? God's gonna move the mountain. You get it. We get it. Okay. But the bottom line is, when you're in an emotionally deprived place, right? When you're tired of crying, when you have no more tears left, when all you can do is just sit there, and then noise comes out. Maybe no tears because you're dried up. You know what I mean? Because you've cried so much already. When you're in a destitute place, right? Let's talk about that, because that's the real part of it, right? Again, yes, yes, you trust, yes, your faith is there, but do you necessarily agree with what's going on right now in your life? No, because you never anticipated your life to be this way, right? Nobody could have ever told me, "Oh, Aisha, yeah, you'll be a 41-year-old widow," or at the time when he passed, I was 38. Oh, you'll be a 38-year-old widow having to raise your 2 kids by yourself. You'll be fine, girl. Go on, just pray about it. Come on, really? Okay. So with that, you have to really, one, your faith and trust has to be in God, number one, right? But two, you have to be able to be real with yourself about how you're feeling, right? I remember when my sister-in-law said to me, "Aisha, it's okay to be angry at God." And I was like, "Oh, no, I could never be angry at God. Like, what? No, I could never. God is God, supreme God, I got all deep and spooky with it, right? But I realized, I noticed that my prayers were a little different, right? I was kind of waking up in the morning. I felt a little bitter, but I wasn't trying to acknowledge the bitterness, right? Let's just be real about it. I was kind of like, oh no, I'm good. Okay, Lord, you know best, Father. Maybe you have a plan. Right. It wasn't until one day I literally laid on my floor, like y'all, bawling my eyes out. I mean, the ugly snotty cry. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
When you get up, your eyes swollen. You can't see. Your throat dry. That cry. And I was like, I'm angry, God. Like I literally, to the top of my lungs, say, Lord, I'm angry. I'm angry. And it was almost like God was like, yes,
Finally.
Right.
finally, daughter.
Some honesty here. Thank you.
Come on. Because I knew in your heart that you were.
Yes.
I know that you're going to trust me through it, and I get it, daughter. Good job. But you're angry, so you need to be real with me about those feelings and those emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And guys, I promise, it wasn't until that day that there was a shifting that happened. Right? I got up off the floor and I said, "Wow, Lord, I'm angry, but I still trust you. I'm angry." I said, I don't disagree. I said, I disagree, but I still trust you. I just began to just really speak, those things that I was really feeling, and that's when I feel like things start to shift, so that's the first, that's one thing. And giving time for yourself to, one, be open and honest, but not be afraid to share those emotions, and not being afraid to just be who you are in that moment, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You don't have to, around family, okay, I'm not gonna cry. I'm gonna be strong. I'm around family. No, if you need to cry, cry, honey. Like seriously, like just be who you are. Feel what you feel. It's okay. You know. So just a little bit of background too, ladies, and understanding that not only did I lose my husband, 2 years before I lost my husband, I lost my brother to suicide. He was 37.
Oh,
right.
wow.
So you got a sister that's grieving over a brother who's 37 who committed suicide. Then my husband passed away, and then 10 months later, my mom passed away. Okay, and she was my aunt, but she raised me as a mother, because my biological mother, passed when I was 19, and she was 47. Okay,
Wow.
so it's a lot with that, right? And so that being said, it's been a process of grieving, through years. Okay, so it definitely is a situation where you have to be real with yourself. There is no sugarcoating anything, when you go through something, I mean, as it relates to grief and loss. Right. I heard a message, and the young lady said that we don't just move forward with grief, or excuse me, we don't just move on, because some people say, oh, just move on. But people don't understand, and I get it, people mean well, and that's great. But you don't just move on with grief, but you move forward with it. As you move forward, everything that you've experienced comes with you, because it's a part of who you are, right? So that's what I would tell people. Just be 100% authentically honest with yourself. Don't be afraid to show those emotions and have those emotions in that moment. Now, granted, don't waddle in it, because then it becomes it can overtake you, but you have the right to feel what you feel. God gave us these emotions for a reason, right? And so we have to make sure that we are definitely expressing those things.
Yeah.
Am I right to say it's more about like looking at those feelings so you can process them?
Yes, absolutely.
You're sitting in them, but you're like, let's actually process this.
Absolutely.
Like work through them.
Yeah.
That's
I love that. I love that point, because I think so. Like we said before, oftentimes people don't want to do that because it makes them look a certain way. Okay, well, I'm going to look weak, or I'm going to be vulnerable if I let myself, show these emotions. But it's healthy to show those emotions and to get it out. Otherwise, you implode because it's all in your head. Now you, again, the shoulda, woulda, couldas. That's a very dangerous place to be in.
Yeah. So our show is about, empowering people to do relationships better.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm just such a big proponent, if that's the word, of you having a community. Yeah. Everybody needs a tribe. You need someone who's not going to preach you down or teach you down or dismiss you,
Right.
but sometimes just let you talk. Just let you talk crazy or whatever you need to do. Let you cry, let you cuss, let you do whatever, without trying to preach to you. You need that. It sounds like to me, one of the things that you said that I got from what you said is that one, you got to get it out.
Yeah.
And then you got to be honest about where you are. And I know honesty about your feelings can be tough to even like get it out. Like you were like saying, I'm angry, but it's like a hard thing to get out, but being able to get it out. So
it's so freeing. That's the thing. You become free in that moment, right? Because you're not, it's almost like you let go of what you're holding on to, right? And so you let it go. And that's when God can begin to heal. If we can't be authentically honest with God, like who are we going to be authentically honest with, right? Because the thing is, he wants to heal us. But it's a process. It's not going to happen overnight. I'm still going through my healing process. This is a part of my healing process, talking to you ladies, because this is my first time talking about it to this extent, right? But if I was unwilling to talk about it because I was fearful of what people may think, or, what I'm saying, then I wouldn't be able to get my healing as I'm getting right now on this show. Okay. Because it's a daily process. So thank you all so much.
Thank you for all of your honesty, because I think people need to hear the whole story.
Yeah.
Because like Betty was saying, people do feel like they're alone. You feel like, oh, well, everyone seems to be just functioning so well, even though they go through things. And we see their victory story, but we don't get to hear about like when they're like on the floor screaming.
Right. The muck and the mire. You don't see the dirty parts. Yeah,
exactly. Well, we're just going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll talk a little more with Miss A.P. Alston.
All right. Well, welcome back, everybody. We are continuing our conversation with A.P. Alston, and you just heard her story and her being totally honest about where she was in life. But so now we want to hear, where are you these days? What are you doing? What's going on?
Yeah. So right now I am really trying to focus my energy and efforts on my wellness business. It's a women's wellness business. And I've had this business probably for about 15 years now. Mm-hmm. It's something that, God has always allowed me to do, just working with women and girls. So
what do you do in your business, like specifically? Like,
so thank you, because I have a tendency to go off on a tangent, but thank you for bringing me back. So I actually do fitness. I am a certified fitness professional. I like to say that term, but I do Zumba, I do cardio kickboxing. I have my own brand as it relates to exercise, and it's called UBU Fitness Fusion. Okay. And so I do that. It's an eclectic mix of cardio, dance, fitness, as well as cardio kickboxing infused with a little bit of weight training. And so I think I'm a little biased, but I think it's an amazing program. So if y'all want to check me out, just check me out with that. But at any rate, so I do fitness. I also do wellness coaching and holistic life coaching. And so that's all under my brand.
Okay. Yeah. Now I know you because of how you eat and all that too. So is that a part of it, like nutrition? And
yes, absolutely. Yes, nutrition is a part of it as well. Just living a holistic lifestyle, and what that means for the mind, body, and spirit. So just really trying to tap into all of those areas. Again, not that we're going to cross every T and dot every I, because we're not perfect, right? But the bottom line and the goal is to really just try to be our best selves in those areas for the mind, body, and spirit.
So let's say in the heat of the moment, I'm like feeling like horrible today. Yeah. And I just like don't want to get out of bed. I'm just like, it feels like grief and weight is just on me. Give me something I can do like right now to be able to be like, not that it's going to fix everything, but is there something I can say, to do, to eat, to kick, to whatever?
Yeah, no, that's good. That's a good question.
It sounds like to me like kickboxing is the ticket, right?
It's off the cuff over there.
It's good.
You know what? This is something very practical, and not everybody may be under the same religious belief, and that's fine. But whatever your belief system is, right? Give thanks to whomever your belief system, like whatever that entity is for you, right? For me, it's Christ, it's Jesus Christ. So in the mornings when I'm feeling kind of like just downcasted and I'm not really feeling it, instead of me complaining, right? Oh God, I'm just so sorry, terrible today. I'm like, you know what, Lord, I thank you. Help. Like just Lord, thanks and help, Uh, some days you don't have all the words, right? Some days you're not giving a dissertation in your prayers. Some days you're like, Lord, look, I need some help. Okay. So that's honestly what I do. And then from a holistic perspective, from a natural perspective, I will make myself a smoothie. Okay. So you want to make yourself something light to eat, right? Because that helps, the lightness of what you're eating helps the weight that you're feeling, if that makes sense.
That does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I recommend a green smoothie, by the way, just saying. So something as easy as pineapple, spinach, maybe pineapple juice, and a little bit of ginger. That helps. That's a good pick-me-up in the morning. Yeah, super simple. And some ice. Don't forget the ice. You need the ice chill factor on it.
Because I feel like every time I ask somebody what's in their smoothie, they're like 25 ingredients. And I'm like, Lord,
No.
like first of all, I'll be tired by going to the store and getting everything you just told me.
Literally, most of my smoothies have between maybe 3, 4, 5 ingredients at most. Because I like to taste what I'm drinking, right? And then the thing is, those ingredients have the nutrients, the vitamins, the minerals that you need, so anyway, that's all.
Yeah, I love this topic. I think, and I'm terrible at this, especially this past year. Oh my gosh, what we put inside our bodies becomes a part of us. And I think, like you're saying, if we're eating like donuts and chips and candy and everything all day, that can add to how we're feeling. Absolutely. And maybe we're misinterpreting how we're feeling because of the junk that we've been putting in our body.
Absolutely.
I heard someone say, if you eat life, it brings life into your body. But if you eat death, that's what you're putting into your body too. So that could add to, your mood. But absolutely. Yeah, I like that. Thank you and help and make a smoothie.
Absolutely.
You just gave a whole new meaning to the power of life and death is in the tongue.
Amen.
Like what you eat and what you say.
It's real. It's real. Yeah, absolutely.
That is good. Life and death is in the power of tongue. What you eat and what you say. Okay. I'm going to take that. Yeah. So then tell us, like some movement that we can do too, because I think that also kind of wakes you up and can help snap you out of.
Absolutely. You know what, to be honest with you, one of the first things that I do when I literally get off, when I, from laying down and I sit up, I start clapping.
Really?
I start clapping. If I'm having a bad day, I start clapping. I just start clapping. It's amazing how your body responds to you clapping. It's almost like it perks you up, it lifts your spirits. And for me, it's a spiritual thing. Okay. So again, I know that, some viewers are, whatever works for you, right? But for me, it's a spiritual thing. I am clapping away like any negative, right? Sometimes I breathe in and I breathe out, real simple, right? I meditate in the morning sometimes, right? And again, it doesn't have to be deep and spooky. It's just something that you're doing for you. To try to take at least 2 to 3 minutes for yourself in the morning, right? As you're starting your day. So I clap, I say, thank you, Lord. Yes, right? Like, yes. Okay, here we go. Get this day started. I don't feel like it, but I'm here. And so from there, I breathe, I meditate. I like to say you inhale positivity, right? And so you begin to inhale those positive intentions that you want for that day. You affirm yourself for that day, and then you exhale any of the negative things that you may be feeling, right? So that's just something,
That's good. So. Ooh, well, this was great. Excellent. Thank you, Miss A.P. Alston, for having us. And to our chat audience, thank you again for joining us. And don't forget to subscribe and click that notification button so that you can see episodes that are coming out. And then follow us on everything.
Show. We are at Chat and Chew Show on Instagram. And like Betty said, subscribe. So
We'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.
Bye, ladies.
This episode is brought to you by the Chat and Chew Company. Host, Betty Jones. Co-host, Roxanne Brew. Producer, Vanessa Outland. And music by Elwood Jones.